What's up, people? One Up Punch here. So I'm coming back to Crunch Element after I was sent an email by the developer of whether I was going to do another video for their really big update called the OverHaul update. And of course, I'm doing one right now. I've seen that the hub world has changed to where you spawn normally in a big area with the VTOL and the hologram. And instead, before going in there, you actually have a small room for yourself, a bed, a small camera that shows your character. And then, of course, you have the terminal over there to start the level or create the server, because in this game you have to host a server or join a server in order to play it. There's no like real offline kind of capability, though I think you can play the game offline. I haven't really tried it, or rather need a internet connection to play it. That being said, I hope that they fix that stuff, because when you do make a server, there are times that you play a mission, you will disconnect. I've had that happen about 2 or 3 times now, trying to play like the underground mission or the other new missions that they had for this game. When it comes down to the overhaul update, they took a lot of the old sandbox maps that were just like a block in the center, a couple of units walking around, into actual missions. The commander will talk to you, tell you intel, what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to go, where the objective is with a green circle, and then you go do it. And they'll do this conversation of like targets you have to go for, or you have to find like a data disk. Another thing in this update they did was they added zip lines, and this will actually be in missions that you play. Down here is the bar. It has just another area you could walk into. There's not really a whole lot of things to mess with. You have like chests on the ground, a jukebox you can't use, and upstairs, and then you have the bar. Over on the wall on the left hand side that you go into the bar, they have an honor wall with different names of people on there that either contributed to the game or something else. I'm not really sure about all of that. Still, I find it's a nice touch to make it a little bit bigger than just one big room. Now it's like a big room and then an area you could use the zip line to go down. And if you want to go back up, you just walk back up the tube and get up to the hub world to do the mission that you want. Or before going on a mission, you can press the Y button on the Quest 2 to pull up a screen that will have loadouts and settings to choose your weapons, but you have to unlock them as well. And I'll talk about this when we get into the introduction of the mission coming up right here.
Our comms are dead across the region. We've got no idea what's going on out there. Looks like there's a jamming signal coming from one of our old outposts. Investigate and bring it offline. Signal interference confirmed. That radar dome ahead is jamming all our comms. Move in, stay quiet, and find the source. First recon that building. Be alert for enemy movement.
Now, earlier in the video, I talked about this whole deal with using zip lines. And in some of these missions, they'll actually have zip lines you can go up and down, depending upon what you're doing. I do not know if these missions are procedurally generated, because when it goes down to some of these missions that you actually play, in the original Crunch Element, it was just like different boxes, items like red barrels, and maybe even like a destructible wall or a crate here. I do not know if that all changes, including the buildings themselves, but I think it's just the buildings stay and that items are different. They actually changed the chest in the game to where it used to be like a blue chest that you pressed a button or it had like a button symbol. Now it has a hand symbol that you go put your hand over and unlocks it. It'll give you a energy bar that you could eat. It'll give you a syringe that you could just put in your hand and it'll heal you without pressing a button. You'll get this ammo box that has shotgun shells and ammo in it that looks like it's got the weird rainbow color on like the old CCTVs, and you could put that in your ammo pouch without having to put it on your backpack or like your utility belt. The other thing is that when you look at ammo, you could look at the magazine and it shows you the counter of how much you have, which is also a nice touch. They also have another thing that when you do like a hacking type of mechanic, it's like a joystick. You go over to it, grab it with the grips, and then when you press the trigger, you're supposed to press on a half crescent circle that is like spinning around. And the arrow will hit that, and it'll keep doing it, and then finally when it's done completely, then you'll start the loading and start hacking it. After that, the loading is done, then you can go and continue on with the mission. I will show a little bit later when it comes onto the loadout screen that you can press the Y button on the Quest 2 to open up. That mainly gets your menus up, your settings up. That shows you that you can get attachments for your gun, suppressor, ACOG, thermal sight, LPVO, whatever, but you have to get them via unlocking, whether you get like 10 kills, you have to do a specific quest thing for it, or you have to get like a specific level, like level 1, 2, and 3, and the higher the level, the more stuff you unlock, which I do like a progressive type of mechanic for a game like this. Though I will say when it comes down to destructibility is that there's not a whole lot going on. Yeah, you can shoot through walls that are like drywall, or you could blow open a wall by shooting a red barrel, throwing a C4 on it, detonating it, and breaching, or like throwing grenades on like plywood. But it's not a whole lot of anything else besides like breaking glass when you shoot through it, and then, you know, concrete not really flying off when you shoot at that. I mean, it'll get there one day. It's just a matter of time. And when you see me do that, it's because my Quest 2 controllers aren't tracking very well. And I don't know if that's because of Crunch Element itself or other games I've seen in the past, like Tactical Assault VR. I did have that happen a couple of times. So you'll see that from time to time. I want to talk about the patch notes real quick. The first thing on the list is new and improved gameplay features, new contract system, player progression system, smarter enemy AI, new enemy types, which is the cultists compared to the normal mercenaries, compound alert system, massive performance gains, and hideout rework, which of course I showed earlier. The contract system, missions are now structured as multi-stage contract with modular objectives, story integration, and reward progression. Player progression system, earn XP, level up, and unlock gear to shape your loadout and playstyle, which I'm currently showing you right here. This is actually the loadout that you get after getting a couple of kills or even getting levels up with the MX-18 or the AK. I'm able to get a bunch of stuff. Like the AK, for example, was able to get a thermal scope. I was able to get a suppressor, a compensator, a flashlight, or like a right or left canted sight. And I mean, that depends upon what you unlock per weapon. When you unlock the weapon itself, everything is the iron sight only until you start getting more kills or getting more levels up. For example, I think when I went to level 3, I was able to get the third gun, the third rifle, and a new pistol that looks like a Glock, as well as being able to get the C4 charges for breaching the walls instead of using HE grenades or impact grenades. Continuing down the list, they say smarter enemy AI. Enemies now coordinate, investigate, call out threats, and flank, which they do. If you actually shoot your suppressed weapon, they'll say they hear gunfire, which is really weird because I thought a suppressed weapon would be kind of quiet for a game like this, especially behind walls and multiple layers of floor, but you'll hear it in the game when I'm shooting at people more. They also talk about how they kind of investigate things. If they hear something, they'll walk over by the wall slowly, and they'll actually have an eye pop up if they see you and start shooting at you from afar or mid-range. Then they talk about the enemy types. Face off against a variety of cultist units, bomber enemies, turrets, and riflemen, which turrets will shred you if you don't turn them off sometimes. I only say this because in the second mission, you have to go and hack a terminal to stop 2 sentry guns from mowing you down if you go into a big doorway that has to lead to an elevator that leads down to go and hack another terminal. They also talk about massive performance gains. Hitboxes, physics, destruction systems, lighting have all been rewritten for higher frame rates and VR responsiveness. Then they talk about the compound alert system. Compounds now shift between stealth and high alert states with dynamic music, security levels, and enemy responses. When it comes down to music, I think I've only heard one real song play when combat happens, so I don't know if there's different ones per level, or it's like if you have to go to a different chapter or a different mission. I wouldn't know because I've only done 2 or 3 missions. With new gameplay features, they also have tools and gear. They have a keycard system where you can get a keycard like a red one, go over to like a terminal and just swipe it so that you can get into a doorway. Another thing I like is that with these cultists, when they're being attacked, they will actually have drop pods come from the sky, and when they land, they'll drop about 5 or 6 cultists to come after you. So kind of watch out or look behind you when they say touchdown imminent or 30 seconds, and then all of a sudden you hear like jet thrusters going off. They also have new ammo types, like they have tracer round slugs and special projectiles, which I don't know what the special projectiles are, though I do know that tracer rounds do hit harder even though they are slower from firing at longer ranges. Another touch I like in particular was when you shoot bullets and you see like the sparks hit. That's also a nice touch, like hitting metal or even like armor and then watching them drop to the ground. Also a nice thing when you see like the red mist pop off them because you know that you're actually hitting them. That was also in Crunch Element. They just made it a bigger cloud every time you hit them. In the tools and gear section, they talk about a scanner attachment, spot enemies and hidden points of interest, a FPV missile headset and airstrike grenades, take over a missile and guide it in first person for precision strikes, which I have not found yet. That might be a later level. A tablet-controlled grenade turret, drop automated turrets and rain fire from afar. New armor system, armor choices now directly impact survivability and movement, which you'll get light, medium, and heavy when you get to a higher level. Item mod system, enhance your weapons and gear with passive modifiers like faster reload, stealth bonuses, and explosive power. They also have hats that you can put on your character. Unlock cosmetics to express your style while blowing holes in cultists. Pouch-based ammo system, which they did mess with the ammo on your tool belt. That's what they're talking about. Timer activated C4 charges, which are about 5 seconds when you place it. Another thing I also like is the thermal scope. When you see enemies, they were like a dark or bright red. And the reason why my bullets are going slow is because I'm using tracer rounds. They hit harder, but like I said earlier, they're slower when you're shooting from afar. And I wanted to see what it looked like when you're trying to shoot somebody from afar using a thermal scope on the MX-18. Before the end of the video, there's a couple things I want to talk about. The first thing I want to show is what happened when I played this level the first time, and this guy opened up a door. He took a full magazine, and when I lost all my ammo and I couldn't do it anymore, he killed me. So watch out when you're going up against somebody that's like very close. Sometimes they're immortal and they don't die. Another issue I had was the elevator. If you have your guns in your hands, actually sometimes the guns will go into the floor and despawn. I had an issue with that. So what I would do is I put it on my holster or my tool belt so I didn't lose my gun. And I did lose my handgun when I actually had it in my right hand. So be careful when using an elevator. Another small detail I like is when you actually get confirmed kills. Like if you destroy a turret or if you take down a security camera or even an enemy soldier, it will tell you enemy killed, the points you get, and something else to get to your max level of whatever you're trying to reach, whether it be level 2 or 3 or even beyond that. And I do like the change that they went from a normal like sandbox, just like a barren wasteland with a small box in the center, to like actual mission objectives, going in small corridors and hallways, listening to the commander talk to you, or even like cultists like respond to your gunshots. It's a vast improvement compared to what it was beforehand, and I hope to see more stuff from the developer and whatever else he does for the game. That being said, been One Nut Punch. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.